I never thought I'd be the type to try online dating. I used to be skeptical of the whole thing, swiping through endless faces, crafting the perfect message, hoping for a reply that never comes. But after years of bad luck with relationships and some not so gentle encouragement from my friends, I finally gave in. That's how I met Emily. She was everything I was looking for, and exactly what I should have run from. It started like any other match. I had been on the app for about 2 months, swiping through profiles in the evenings after work. Most matches fizzled out after a few messages, but when I came across Emily's profile, something about her stood out. Her pictures were simple, candid shots, nothing overly posed. One of her at a coffee shop, another on a hiking trail, and a blurry, laughing selfie in what looked like a dimly lit bar. She had dark brown hair, bright green eyes, and this easy, genuine smile that made me pause. Her bio was short but witty. Looking for someone who doesn't ghost, doesn't catfish, and doesn't murder me in my sleep. The bar is low. I laughed. I swiped right. We matched instantly. The conversation flowed easily. She was funny, sharp, and a little sarcastic, exactly my type. We talked about everything from horror movies to travel plans, and by the end of the first night, I felt like I had known her for years. Then, she asked something strange. "Can we keep this between us for now?" I hesitated. Like, not tell people we're talking? Yeah, I just like my privacy. Some guys get weird, you know? It made sense. I had heard horror stories of guys tracking women down on social media, getting obsessive. If Emily wanted to keep things low-key, I wasn't going to argue. But looking back, that was my first mistake. After about a week of late-night texts and long phone calls, Emily and I made plans to meet. She suggested a small cafe downtown, cozy, quiet, the kind of place where we could actually talk. I agreed, excited but nervous. It had been a while since I'd felt this kind of connection with someone. The day of the date, she texted me last minute. "Hey, would you mind picking me up? My car's in the shop." A little forward, but I didn't mind. She sent me an address, an apartment complex about 15 minutes away. When I got there, something felt off. The building looked abandoned. The windows were dark, the parking lot half empty. The paint on the walls was peeling, and a faded "for lease" sign hung near the entrance. There were no lights on inside, no sign of anyone living there at all. I checked the address again. It was correct. I texted her. "Hey, I'm here. Are you inside?" No reply. I waited. Minutes passed. I called her. It rang twice, then went to voicemail. A weird feeling crept up my spine. Something wasn't right. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw movement. A shadow shifting near the alley beside the building. Someone was watching me. I felt my stomach drop. My instincts screamed at me to leave, but I hesitated. What if Emily was in trouble? Then finally, my phone buzzed. A new message. "Sorry, meant to send you a different address. Come to this one instead." A new location popped up, a coffee shop across town. My hands were shaking as I put the car in drive. I wanted to believe it was a mistake, but my gut told me something else. Someone was there, waiting for me, and it wasn't Emily. By the time I got to the cafe, I was on edge. But then I saw her, Emily, sitting by the window, sipping a latte, looking completely normal. My paranoia felt ridiculous. I had probably overreacted. Maybe the first address was just a typo. I took a deep breath and went inside. She looked even better in person. Same bright green eyes, same easy smile. She waved me over. "Hey, you made it." The weird tension in my chest eased a little. We talked for nearly 2 hours, and she was just as charming in person as she had been over text. I almost forgot about the apartment incident until she asked how I liked the place. I hesitated. "What do you mean?" She tilted her head. "The apartment. You showed up, right?" Something in her tone made my skin crawl. Yeah, but it looked empty." Her smile didn't falter. "Weird. That's my place." I felt a cold knot form in my stomach. She was lying. There was no way someone lived there. No furniture, no lights, no signs of life. And worse, someone had been watching me. I tried to act normal, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. So when the date ended, and she asked if I wanted to come over, I forced a polite smile and said, "Maybe next time." She didn't look disappointed. If anything, she looked amused, like she already knew the answer. I should have blocked her. But I didn't. That night, as I was lying in bed, my phone buzzed. A message from Emily. Had fun tonight. Can't wait to see you again. Then another. By the way, you should really lock your back door. My blood turned to ice. I sat up so fast I nearly fell out of bed. My apartment had a small back patio with a sliding glass door. I always kept it locked. Heart pounding, I grabbed the baseball bat I kept by my nightstand and crept toward the back. The door was open. Only an inch, but enough. Enough to let someone in. I flipped on the light and stepped outside. The patio was empty. No footprints, no sign of forced entry. But there was something on the ground. A single coffee shop napkin. With a smiley face drawn in red ink, I slammed the door shut and locked it. Then I deleted Emily's number, removed her from the app, and blocked every account I could find. I barely slept that night. For weeks, I felt like I was being watched. Every time I walked to my car, every time I came home, every time I closed my eyes. Then, one day, I got a new message request on a different app. No profile picture, no name, just 4 words. You should have come over. I moved 3 months later. I don't use dating apps anymore, and every night before I go to bed, I check my back door. Twice. I've always been cautious when it comes to online dating. After hearing horror stories about catfishing, scams, and stalkers, I made a rule for myself. Never trust someone too quickly, no matter how good they seemed. That rule kept me safe for years, until I met Lena, and I learned that sometimes the danger isn't just in who you meet, it's in what you can't explain. Lena matched with me on a quiet Wednesday night. Her profile was stunning, almost too stunning. Long blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, a soft, knowing smile. The kind of girl you'd expect to see in a magazine, not swiping through a dating app. I almost didn't swipe right, assuming it was a fake profile, but her bio caught my attention. Introvert with a love for the strange and unexplained, looking for someone who won't run away if things get a little weird. That last word stuck with me. I swiped right. Instant match. Her first message was simple. Hey, I think I know you. I frowned. I had never seen her before in my life. I replied, You do? Yeah, you seem familiar. Normally that would be a red flag, but something about the way she said it intrigued me. We started talking, and despite my initial doubts, she felt real. Not just in the way she typed, but in the way she responded. No generic answers, no weirdly perfect grammar like a bot. Just real, casual conversation. I asked her where she was from. Not far from you. I asked her what she did for work. Freelance, a little bit of everything. I asked if she wanted to meet up. Soon, but she always dodged the details, never gave me a specific location, a last name, or a social media link. I didn't push. Some people liked their privacy. I wish I had. After about a week, things got strange. Lena would message me at odd hours, sometimes in the middle of the night. If I didn't reply right away, she'd send another message. Are you there? I miss talking to you. I feel like I know you. That last one started showing up a lot. Too much. One night around 2 a.m., I woke up to my phone buzzing. A message from Lena. Can I call you? I rubbed my eyes. Before I could reply, another message came through. Actually, just open the door. My stomach dropped. I sat up in bed, heart pounding. What door? I stared at the message, my fingers frozen over the keyboard. Then another message. I'm outside. I swallowed hard and forced myself to type. What do you mean? A pause. Then, never mind. No explanation, no follow-up. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. The next morning, I checked my apartment door. Locked. No signs of anyone outside. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe she was messing with me. I decided to confront her. I typed, What did you mean last night? Were you really outside? Her reply came instantly. I don't remember. That was the moment I knew something was wrong. I tried to dig deeper. I did a reverse image search on her profile pictures. Nothing. No social media accounts, no old posts, just nothing. I checked the dating app's settings. Her profile had no last name, no linked Instagram, no external info at all. She was nowhere, like she didn't exist. That night, as I sat at my desk, trying to decide if I should block her, I heard something tap against my window. I froze. My apartment was on the 3rd floor. Slowly, I turned my head toward the glass. There was nothing there. Then my phone vibrated. A message from Lena. "Let me in." I nearly dropped my phone. My breathing turned shallow. I forced myself to look again. Still, nothing outside. Just the empty night. I replied with shaking hands, "Where are you?" A pause. Then, "You already know." I didn't sleep that night. The next morning I deleted the dating app, blocked Lena, told myself it was over, and for a while it was, until I got a new message on my personal number, a number I had never given her. "You can't just delete me." My heart felt like it was about to explode. I stared at the text, my fingers frozen. I typed back, "Who is this?" No reply. Hours passed. I told myself it was a coincidence, a wrong number. Then, as I was getting ready for bed, my phone buzzed again. A photo of me, taken inside my apartment. I never saw Lena in person. I don't even know if she was real. But something knew me, something was watching, and to this day, every now and then, I get a message, just 2 words. Still, here. I wasn't desperate. Let's get that straight. I was just bored. Work had taken over my life. The dating scene in my city was dead. My friends kept telling me to put myself out there. So I did what any single guy would do. I downloaded a dating app. That's how I met Nina. And that's how I learned that some dates don't end when you go home. Some dates follow you. Nina was perfect, not in the fake Instagram model kind of way. She had that girl next door vibe. Messy brown hair, warm hazel eyes, and a smile that felt genuine. Her bio was short: horror movie addict, sushi enthusiast, looking for something real. I swiped right. Instant match. The conversation flowed easily. No awkward small talk, no weird one-word replies. She had a dark sense of humor, which I liked. She was quick-witted, fun, and best of all, she suggested we meet in person. No endless texting, no weird dodging, just a normal date. I was sold. We agreed to meet at a quiet little bar downtown. The place was dimly lit, playing low jazz music. It was the kind of spot where you could actually hear each other talk. Nina was already there when I arrived. She was sitting at a corner booth, sipping a dark drink through a straw. And just like her pictures, she was beautiful. But something was off. It wasn't obvious, just a weird feeling in my gut. Maybe it was the way her eyes locked onto mine the moment I walked in, or how she never blinked as I made my way to the table. Still, I ignored it. "Hey," I said, sliding into the seat across from her. Her lips curled into a slow smile. "You're even cuter in person." I laughed. "I try." We started talking, and almost immediately the weird feeling faded. She was charming, laughing at my jokes, leaning in when I spoke, playing with the straw in her drink. But then she started asking strange questions. "Have you ever felt like someone was watching you?" I blinked. Like paranoia?" She tilted her head. "Not quite. More like, you ever get home and feel like someone's inside with you?" I chuckled nervously. "Weird question for a first date." She grinned. "Sorry, just curious." The conversation moved on, but her questions kept getting weirder. "Do you ever wake up and find your door unlocked? Do you talk in your sleep? Have you ever heard your own voice, but not from your mouth?" By the time we finished our drinks, I had a creeping sense of unease. Nina noticed. "You okay?" she asked, tilting her head. I forced a smile. "Yeah, just long day at work." She reached across the table and touched my hand. Her fingers were ice cold. "Let's get out of here," she whispered. I hesitated. I didn't want to be rude, but every instinct in me screamed, "Leave," so I lied. "Actually, I have to be up early tomorrow," I said. "Rain check?" Her smile didn't fade, but her grip on my hand tightened. "Of course," she said. And just like that, she let go. I paid the tab and walked her outside. She stood under a flickering streetlight, staring at me. Then she stepped forward, leaned in, and whispered in my ear, "See you soon." I watched her turn and walk away, and the second she was out of sight, I felt a wave of relief. I didn't text her, didn't check the app. Something about her just wasn't right. I decided to let it fade. No dramatic goodbye, no ghosting, just distance. Then, 2 nights later, I woke up to my phone buzzing, a notification from the dating app. Nina sent you a message? I stared at the screen. Then, another notification. Nina sent you a photo. I hesitated, my finger hovering over the screen. Then I tapped it. The photo loaded. It was a picture of me, asleep in my bed. I sat up so fast I got dizzy. My head snapped toward my bedroom door, locked. I checked the windows, shut. I checked under my bed, my closet, empty. I was alone. But the photo said otherwise. I tried to call her. Straight to voicemail. I checked the app. Her profile was gone. I was losing my mind. Who was she? How did she take that photo? How did she even get into my place? I barely slept that night. And the next morning I went to the police. I showed them the message, the photo. I told them everything. They took my phone, checked the metadata, ran searches. Nothing. No records of a Nina matching her description. No traces of her number. No proof she ever existed. They told me it was probably a prank, someone messing with me. I didn't believe them, but I wanted to. I wanted an explanation, because the alternative was worse. That night, I triple locked my doors, checked my windows 5 times, slept with a knife under my pillow, but I still didn't feel safe, because every time I closed my eyes, I swore I could hear breathing. Days passed, then a week. No new messages, no strange photos. Maybe it was over. Maybe she got bored. Then, the last message came. It was mailed to my apartment, a handwritten note in red ink, no return address, no name, just one sentence. You're already inside. I stared at the words. What did that mean? I wasn't inside. I was outside, standing by my mailbox. But as I turned to look at my apartment window, I saw it. A shadow, standing in my bedroom, watching me. I never went back inside. I don't know who or what Nina was, but I know one thing. I never matched with her. She matched with me, and I think she's still waiting.